Matt's in Orlando. Hey, Matt, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve, sir. How can I help?
Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
I've been listening and watching you for about 6 months or so, and my wife actually introduced me to the Debt Snowball a few years ago, but she didn't tell me the rest of the plan. And now that I'm all invested, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get it done, pay off our debt, and create a better future. She's pulling back. She doesn't want to do it, and I may have come on too strong. I may have said, we're getting rid of the car, we're selling all this.
So, Chris, if he thinks he might have, what do you think the probability is that he was?
Probably about 100.27999%. You scared her, Matt.
You done scared her off, buddy.
You scared her, buddy. You're selling cars, purses, bracelets. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Hey, what got her excited about it to begin with? Why did she tell you about the Debt Snowball?
At the time, I think we were in about 130,000 worth. And I ended up, as you may be able to tell, I'm kind of an extreme person. So when she started telling me about it, I said, well, I'll just sell my truck. I have a company truck anyway. I don't need it. So I got rid of it. And that brought us down to 100,000. Mm-hmm. And then she kind of saw where I was headed with all of it. And she said, okay, never mind. Forget it.
She got scared. And the reality is I would go back and ask her, honey, when you first mentioned the Debt Snowball to me, what was the motivation? What was the thing that it got you going on this? And what happened is you got in the bus and started driving, and you left her back at the house. You've started the journey, and she's back there standing with her book bag waiting. And so what you need to do is back up and go back and reconnect so you guys can gain alignment together on this thing. It's got to be a we thing that you're doing, not a you thing. And so getting her a chance to get back connected, to communicate, and you're hearing her as much as you're talking to her, I think will help you guys get back on this plan together.
If your intensity becomes, as a couple, 9 out of 10, where currently you are 12 out of 10 and she's 2 out of 10, you'll be better off. In other words, if you'll slow down just a little bit and get her on board, you're going to move faster overall.
Right.
And so, you just can't you've already self-diagnosed before you called. You knew what to do, right?
Pretty much,
yeah. It's just that you just want to go wide open. You just want to push down on the pedal and just go completely wide open. And instead, Chris is telling you put it in reverse. Go back and pick her up, and then move forward a step at a time. Get agreement on each thing, instead of like, "Hey, sold my truck today." That just, you just scared her to death.
Yeah,
man.
You did, without a doubt. But I'm going to tell you this: I love your commitment, Matt, and I love how you go head down. But I just want you to join hands with your spouse, and you guys go in unison.
Yeah, it's a good idea to kind of talk through this for a second, because what he's experiencing is not that unusual. It's pretty typically, I would guess, more than half the time. I'm just going to pick out a number. I'm making that percentage up. More than 50% of the time that someone starts with Ramsey Plus and they get into Financial Peace University, or they watch the reset event from January that you and I and Rachel and Craig Rochelle did, or they read the Total Money Makeover, wherever it is, they get this new information. And it's not unusual for one spouse to run off and get all excited and just run on down the road and then go, oh, wait, I left my spouse back there. It's, oh, God, I left the kid back at the gas station. I got to go back. We're in such a big hurry that we lost ground because you don't. And so you're much better off. And really, here, from having done this for 30 years and you've been around it for 20, is people get further moving slower together than they do moving super fast and leave one behind.
That's right.
Because you end up with all this fits and starts and conflict that ultimately creates friction and slows everything down.
It really does. And what I've seen, too, from coaching people and working with couples is the one that has slowed down is typically fearful of what they're going to have to give up.
But if they feel like they've got a say, if their voice is being heard, their vote counts at the budget committee meeting.
That's right.
If your vote doesn't count at the budget committee meeting, you have a right to dig your heels in and say, wait, I got to vote here.
Yeah.
I don't think we ought to do that. And, I mean, there's two pretty substantial financial issues sitting on the table at the Ramsey house right now that we're not in agreement on. And what we do is we don't move until we get agreement. And so, either one of us can just completely bring whatever the item is to a screeching halt until we get agreement on that. And it can be a large gift and a charitable donation to a ministry, and one of us doesn't feel comfortable with it. The gift size or the ministry or whatever it is, one of us doesn't feel comfortable with it. Or it can be a purchase. It could be an investment. It could be anything. But, I mean, we just don't move forward because every time we move forward without the other one, the cost is greater than the joy that would have come from that step that we were getting ready to take. And so we just have to wait. And, God, it's so freaking frustrating. It's just, would you just get this right in your head? Because I can make a decision in about 13 seconds.
Yeah, about 10.
And if that's wrong, I'll just make another one.
That's exactly right.
So, but and Sharon needs to process stuff and process
Feelings.
stuff.
She got feelings,
And,
Dave.
well, I don't have any of those. I gave them up.
You found two.
Yeah, I gave them up for
You
Lent.
got two. I'm laughing, but it's true. It is true. It is true.
Oh, well, we're glad you're here because you're huggable. You're just huggable. That's what you are. Big, scary Chris Hogan.
No, stop that.